My name is Michael Gitonga. Our sign language interpreter this afternoon is Meresha Owiti. A bodyguard attached to the Speaker of the Kenya National Assembly, Justin Muturi, was in the wee hours of Saturday morning shot dead by his colleague at the Speaker's Nairobi residence. The shooting happened at about 2 a.m. at the Speaker's The Giri Ridge house in Muthaiga. The Speaker and his family were not present at the time of the incident. The family is in Mombasa with the Speaker, who is on official duty. Senior police officers who visited the scene, led by Gigiri OCPT Vitalis Otieno, said there were signs of a long scuffle between the two administration police officers before the shooting happened. The assailant was arrested and is being held at the Gigiri police station for questioning on the motive of the killing. The officer shot by his colleagues 3 times in the chest using a rifle and killed him instantly. Police say the deceased was an official of the sentry box. Now, the Independence Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati is right now leading a stakeholders meeting in Mombasa to discuss issues surrounding the voter registration and electoral process in Kenya. Our reporter Francis Mtalaki is there. Francis, what is emerging as the issues in this particular meeting?
Well, good afternoon, Michael. What we can be able to report here is that in the early morning, the IBC chair, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, has presented some of the issues that he thinks the National Assembly, who are here for a leadership summit, that should be taken into stock as we run to the general election. And he touched issues surrounding the timelines and the nomination to the general election. And most critical is that he says that the IBC is not going to extend the mass voter registration exercise that is set to end on 14th of February. This is given to the fact that there is so much that is needed to be done from voter verification and also cleaning up the register. But a critical point that he made in terms of the legality of this issue. And apart from that, he also touched issues surrounding the submission of party membership, and a key component for any politician in this country in terms of when he is supposed to stick to his party and make that final decision. He says that from 9th of March to 19th, that is the period that any politician is supposed to make his decision. And now I want to involve the National Assembly Majority Leader Eden Duale with regard to this position that the IBC is taking. Maybe can you give us your views?
I think Wafula Chebukati, the chair of IBC, has made it very, very clear his timelines and the roadmap for the next general election. And because the key highlights was one of them, that parties must submit their list, membership list, between the 9th and 19th of March. 19th of March being the last day, 120 days to the general election. So if you are an aspirant, if you are a politician, the moment your name is submitted to IBC on the 19th of March by either coalition, any party, then you cannot jump ship. That's what ideality means. He talks about the law that he has. The law allows him to do a voter audit, to do voter verification, to procure the equipment, and he says he doesn't have the luxury of a continuous registration of voters as the Constitution contemplates. But I think he made it very, very clearly, and he presented to Parliament that he has a number of regulations which he will take through the Delegated Legislation Committee by Monday and Tuesday this coming week. And we have confirmed to him that Parliament, both in terms of appropriating the right amount of resources and legislation, Parliament is going to work with him with the remaining period of the House. I think more fundamentally, he's also confirmed to the House that he's talking to stakeholders. He has talked to the Chief Justice on the many litigation matters before court, and that he's also talking to the other people who went to court, parties, whether he can deal with the matter outside court. So,
and also let's look at the legality of the issue that is at hand. Whereas if any Kenyan goes to the court and says that the Constitution allows that the voter registration to go on until 90 days to the elections.
Yes, I mean, the IBC chair and his team must deliver a free, fair, and transparent and peaceful, credible elections. The same constitution that says voter registration must be continuous is the same law that says he must conduct a voter audit, that he must conduct a voter verification, that he must procure the equipments 4 months before the general election. So that was the position of the chair, and that's why he has a timeline. And he can't have his timelines just open. So I think he convinced the leadership and he convinced the country that you can't have your cake and eat it. You must say, at this period I'm doing this, at this period I'm doing this. And all these processes is what will lead to a free, fair, and peaceful general election.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. Okay, that was the National Assembly Majority Leader Ellen Duale speaking to us. The two issues that have come out here with regard to the timelines and nominations as we run to the general election, and some of the issues that surround the constitutionality, Michael, is that now the constitutional says that 90 days prior to 90 days to the general election, that is when the constitution is allowed, the IBC is allowed to end the process of mass voter registration, for that matter. But on the other hand, the country seems to be in a mountain as to whether to carry on with the voter verifications and the procurement of the BVR keys, for that matter. Michael.
Thank you very much, Francis Mtalaki, who is in Mombasa, our coast reporter there, just giving us an update on what's happening in regards to the IEBC in Mombasa. Thank you very much. Let's now move on to another story where Kenya's Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Nkaiseri has stemmed the recent court ruling blocking the closure of the Dadaab refugee complex as null and void. Speaking in Kajiado Central, Nkaiseri said the court ruling doesn't affect the refugee repatriation, as government would wait until the last refugee has left the camp.
Hiyo amri ya koti haikuwa inahusika, is null and void kwa sababu hatukuwa tukifunga hiyo kambi ya Dadaab kwa nguvu. Tulikuwa tunafuata sheria, na ule mkimbizi wa busha akiondoka ndipo tutaweza kufunga Dadaab camp. Lakini kama bado tuko na wakimbizi, hatuwezi kufunga Dadaab camp kwa sababu sisi ni signatory United Nations laws affecting refugees. Kwa hivyo ningependa tu kurekebisha hiyo, isionekane kama tulilazimishwa na koti tusifunge, kwa sababu hatukuwa tukifunga.
This is Weekend Express, and we are going to take a short break, but do stay with us right here as we have more stories making headlines. We'll be right back. Kenya National Transport and Safety Authority last evening embarked on another of its regular crackdowns, catching Nairobi motorists by surprise. NTSA says the crackdown that netted more than 20 drivers continues throughout the weekend.
The NTSA team set up their base along the usually busy Thika superhighway. And it wasn't long before they began nabbing those found driving while drunk. Here, men and women fell victim to the all-dreaded alcohol blow that would ensure they spent the night at the police cells.
Why are you running away? I'm not sorry. What have I done?
You are running away? Oh my God.
But not all motorists were willing to comply. Some drivers opting to evade the officials, seeking to tame their errant ways, drove off into the night, never mind the risk they placed on themselves and other drivers.
Most of the accidents are caused by drunk driving, and that's why NTSA has put a lot of emphasis to ensure that drunk drivers are not on our roads.
This motorist, who happens to be a government driver and bodyguard, was not spared in an operation that went all out to try and bring sanity to the roads. The operation that lasted more than 4 hours nabbed 21 motorists who will be appearing at the courts Monday to answer to charges of driving while under the influence, therefore endangering the lives of others and themselves.
I'm not the driver. That's all.
Tangu nizaliwe
Hiyo ni mzuri kabisa.
Thank you very much, brother. Sisi are small. Hata kuuliza bibi yako anaweza kuambia. Ujaifanya nini? Hata hajaisikia likinuka. Alikuwa naye miaka bao. Arudi nyuma kidogo. Sasa.
Timothy Otieno, KTN News.
And that's it from Weekend at 1, but do stay with us right here. Those of us on KTN News, coming up next is Africa Journal. For those of us on KTN Home, you've got Jameni. So from my co-host, our sign language interpreter, Maresha Owiti, and myself, Michael Gitonga, do have yourselves a wonderful afternoon.